back. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3. Now, as the pandemic panic winds down and the economic concerns linger, how we think about our space will really shift accordingly in 2023. Now, since our homes have become our sanctuary, it's only fitting that we style them in a way that brings us joy amid some uncertain times. Now, Danella Conti is a seasoned interior design architect, and with her sound advice, we'll be discussing some of the freshest aesthetic trends for 2023. Danella, it's great to have you here.
Hi, Zoe. Thank you so much for having me.
I love talking decor trends. I've recently done some renovations myself, so I'm here to absorb all the knowledge you're willing to depart.
Okay, let's go.
Now, I know that there's been a big trend on minimalism, but I see or hear maximalism is also making a turn. What are some of the basic principles when it comes to maximalism, and how will we see that grow this year?
So as the word says, maximalism, we are expressing maximum. It's really where there are no limits and there's no specific genre, there's no specific design style to maximalism. The important thing is for you as the person curating the space to be at the center of it. Okay. So it's really bringing the you into your space. So it can be any line of look. And it's mixed up, it's texture, it's pattern, it's a lot of pattern play, and there's something in the design world called now the fifth wall, which is the ceiling.
Oh,
so we're even considering decorating the ceiling. It's a very decorated look, it's got a lot of layers, and it really must speak about who you are as the person. Maximalism.
Maximalism.
Maxing it out.
Maxing it out. I love that. But at the point where, like you said, you need to be at the center of it.
Exactly.
Now, we have spoken, you've touched briefly on the ceiling, which I find very, very interesting. But color is something that I think the ordinary eye always relates to. I know the world is moving away from neutrals, your grays and your blues, to more earth tones, your browns, your creams, your whites. Talk to me about how that shift is taking place.
Okay, well, it's an antithesis, right? Because you've got maximalism on the one side, and then on the other side, you've got these earth tones. So it's a very grounding time just on the planet now for everybody to be quite reflective.
Okay.
And the earth tones really allow us to do that. They also, with the whites and the beiges and all those very neutral tones, they allow us to set a palette.
Okay.
So you've got a plain blank canvas to then populate with all the bits that are going to be you expressing what your personality is. So it's a kind of meditative, calm environment that you want to start with and build on that. Yeah, build on that.
Well, we did say your home is your sanctuary, and you mentioned textures. Texture is going to be super important. What do they mean by texture? Because I know you can get your velvets, you get your different cottons, but I think the world is also moving in a direction where we are very conscious of the environment.
Yes. Exactly. So digital printing has radically changed how we see nature in our homes, because you can literally print on any surface and you can photograph something from nature, whether it's a skin or whether it's a texture in a leaf, and you can really blow it up. So all of a sudden we're living with huge patterns that we actually would not be seeing on our ordinary day-to-day life because they're microscopic, really. So that's really brought texture in a new way. I mean, we've always had it in carpets and wallpapers and, just like you say, velvet and feeling things. But now you actually, there's a visual texture. There's an extra layer on top of what we're seeing.
Oh, well, we are adding to the maximalism, the layers on top of the layers. Now, Danella, for someone that wants to, spruce up their space, it's January, we all like to, do something new in the house to just feel fresh. How can we do that, especially keeping in mind that there's a lot of uncertainty happening in the economy? Life is expensive, so we do not want to break the bank, but we want our space to reflect the new things that we want.
Yeah, we want to do it inexpensively and easily. So the best thing to start with is to declutter.
Okay.
To basically get rid of things that you're either holding on to because a relative gave it to you and it must be in the corner, or just something you bought as an impulse buy, but you're not loving it anymore. It's not resonating for you anymore. So clear out your space, declutter. Then paint is the obvious. It adds a splash of color. I always like plants. Plants bring outside in and they just give a calm. So you could take a corner of your room and I would do something quite large and then around it, smaller plants. So it's not just a plant in the corner, it's actually a whole area that's green, you know, to just give you that new focus. And then you can obviously reshape your room, play around with how your room was set out, put a rug under one area,
Move the furniture around.
New scatter cushions, you know, are a great way to very inexpensively add that layer of luxury, where you just get home and you kind of plonk onto your couch and there's new cushions to feel good. So, yeah, those are not crazy investment buys to bring in a new life.
Well, we are very excited. Danelle's not going anywhere. She is from DC Design Inc. And of course, stick around. She's going to show us how you can spruce up your wardrobe, so you do not want to miss out on that.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We are continuing our design talk. And whether you're doing a New Year's design refresh on your home or looking to add extra space to attract potential home buyers, chic and uncluttered closets are key when it comes to making a big impression. Danella Conti is a seasoned interior design architect, and her sound advice, we will be discussing some of the freshest ways that you can really spruce up intimate spaces for 2023. Danella, welcome back.
Thank you, Zoe.
I'm very excited for this because you're going to show us how we can really spruce up our wardrobe. I think that's the one place, you know, you make the effort to organize it, and then you're in a rush, and before you know it, all that organization goes out the door. Where do we start?
That's exactly it. In the morning when you're getting ready for work and you've got to quickly grab, you want to kind of be organized.
Yes.
So you got to declutter.
Declutter.
I mean, that's the first thing. And clothing has to be seasonal. So I would take whatever is not part of the season, pack it away in a jumbo container, stick it in your garage, stick it at the top of a cupboard, and declutter to start.
Label it so you don't forget about it.
So you don't forget about it, and then that also leaves less on your rails. So it leaves more space to like page through your clothing. Okay. So decluttering is key. And then secondly, keep things out that you really love. You know, so I tend to go to the stores, I walk around, I get inspired by what I'm seeing. I can't buy everything. So I go back to my closet and I try and emulate what's there and organize it so that, you know, you feel on trend and things are happening and you buy a few key pieces.
Oh,
But
fantastic.
that's what we start with, decluttering.
Well, let's get practical, because we've got a railing of clothing here in front of you. How can we declutter or perhaps rearrange this rail?
Okay, so as you can see, it's just everything's a
all over the
mishmash.
place.
So I like to color block, you know, so we'd put colors together like that. Obviously, the same type of garment together is also obvious. Wintry things, these would be packed away now, right? Because we definitely don't need any knitwear.
We don't need them occupying the cupboard right now.
Definitely don't need any knitwear. So once you've kind of got a color blocking thing, I absolutely love these hangers.
They are fantastic. They are space savers.
Space savers, because they're very narrow and they actually hold silky clothes on. They never fall off.
Nothing
so this
slips
is a
off.
good investment. That's what you need. And then things like pants don't need to be taking up valuable real estate in the cupboard. So I like to roll them. Gents, ladies, pants, whatever, really. It works really well, and that way you can just put them sideways on your shelf.
Oh.
So you can kind of make a little pyramid.
So
Of
when you need a
trousers.
pair of pants, you can just pull it out. Nothing's going to tumble. Nothing's gonna
and you'll
waste
see
around.
they also, if you roll them, they don't crease.
Yeah.
You know?
Because pants is one of those things when you're trying to make space in your cupboard, you put a jacket over the hanger and then you forget
And then
about
you
that
forget
pair.
that they're there. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Definitely roll them, so
Yeah.
we'll set that aside.
Yeah.
And then how else can we spruce up our cupboard?
So these are just really useful items that you can pretty much find everywhere. You know, these are really great for socks, great for underwear. That's always like the messiest drawer, right?
Yes.
And especially if you know, showing your house, or like you say, you want to have people around just as a potential buyer. You don't want to be opening cupboards and it's like everything's falling out. So these just hold things in place. I also like to seasonally, these are very useful. So I also pack away a lot of stuff I'm not going to be wearing and bring out stuff I want to wear, because it just makes that morning rush so much easier. So you can kind of organize hair accessories, jewelry in one place and put it even on a shelf or in a drawer, and there's just less stuff. Makes it easier to choose.
Less clutter, and
Less
it's just
clutter.
easy accessible. I love that
Yeah.
you also go through your things. You pack away the things that would be used for winter, putting, obviously, because we're in summer, the fresher things up front. But also when winter comes around, you're very excited to now see the things you haven't seen in a
It's
while.
like you've shopped in your own closet. It's like you take it out and it's all fresh and new.
Oh.
No, I do. I love it. You just have to find the time to do it.
You
So.
definitely need to set some time aside. So for those who probably wants to do this on a very inexpensive way but stay trendy, have you got any tips?
Well, to pack things away obviously is the best. And then when you're out and you're buying, you kind of know what you need because you've been through it to pack it away.
Yeah.
You know? So you kind of do a pre-store look around, then go pack your stuff away and go like, okay, I'm going to need a jacket.
Yeah.
Or I need a nice, you know, beach caftan. And it just minimizes that feeling when you're out of having to buy everything.
And I love that
Stressing.
you color blocked the clothing, because something I noticed is I had, for some bizarre reason, 4 green and the same green dresses.
Yes.
So now I know it's a color my eye always falls to. So when I'm in a store, I'm like, you don't need another green dress. You've
Yeah.
got enough.
Yeah.
So definitely
Exactly.
some great tips.
Organizing.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Danella, thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you, Zoe. Thank
Be
you so
sure
much.
to stay up to date with her at DC Design Inc. And of course, hopefully you got some great tips to spruce up your 2023.